Hey, hey, hey. It is me, Olivia S. Benson. I hope you are doing well. If you're new to the channel, welcome. And if you're returning, thank you for coming back. If you've been here before, you know what we talk about. We talk about this lovely book, this lovely pink book. It's called For the Love of My Father. And it is a book about healing daddy issues. And it takes on a whole wide variety of different issues. And basically, it's about how you can heal your life and live up to your full potential as a woman, even if you didn't grow up with your daddy. So, you know, the interesting thing about today is that I was working on my post on Facebook, and something that came up, which is in the book, there's a whole chapter in the book, and it's called Things Buried Alive Never Die. And it's about sort of the legacy of slavery and how basically those unhealed issues continue to live until we decide that we're going to heal them. But last time I spoke about food, for example, and how the issue of food and what slaves ate, how that's traveled down the generations, but basically that it's a habit. And as we know it today, it's a bad habit. And so today I was looking at sort of, you know, in some contexts, how still till today, some people of African descent who were descendants of slaves still have this kind of disassembled family structure. It's okay to have multiple women with multiple children. Obviously, not everyone, so don't write me. But there's still some who live that kind of life. And I put that sort of in the category of bad habits. Because as some of you know, the whole idea of breeding slaves and having them reproduce without having a proper family structure was part of the game. But then I decided to, which I knew it, but I wasn't absolutely sure. And I went and did some research. And in fact, in America, I can't speak to the rest of the Americas, but in America, slaves technically were not allowed to marry until after the Civil War. In fact, if some of you might know this, but this is how the tradition of jumping the broom came into being. And other than that, basically in terms of marriage, what would happen is that somebody would go talk to the master, and the master would say, yes, you can move in to the cabin together. And that was the beginning of a marriage. And I was talking to someone in my office, and I was like, maybe that's where the idea of shacking up came from. We don't know this because we didn't have we haven't done the research on it, but that was it. You would go to the master, and he or she, for that matter, would give you permission to move in together. And that was shacking up. So the thing about it is that as I talk about and continue in the series of the dream of the slaves, I mean, you have to, as a person of African descent, think about the fact that these people would have wanted to have been able to be married, would have wanted to be able to keep their families together. Because as you also know, many times, even if they shacked up with the master's permission, they could reproduce, and the family could intentionally be broken. The husband could go in one direction, the wife could go in another, wife in quotation, husband in quotation. One could go in one direction, the other in another, and the child in another direction. That was part of the program. So these people would have dreamed of the opportunity to get married and have proper families. And some of this, it appears, has kind of, you get used to it, and you have few options, and then it kind of passes generation to generation. But my position is we can wake up. You have the choice of waking up. and realizing that you're not going to be ran. Your life cannot be run by a subconscious program that says it's okay to have children with a whole bunch of women or have children with a whole bunch of men. You now can wake up and create a new program. And the other part that I think that we have a responsibility to is, you know what? These people, the slaves, really dreamed of a day when they could marry and they could, create proper families. And now we have the opportunity to do that. We could do right by them. We can do better. And if you're a man or a woman who sort of led this life, this is the moment for you to realize, wow, is that what I've been doing? Have I been running on a program that's 200 or 300 or 400 years old that really says to me it's kind of okay to live this way? Or am I going to realize that my life is within my control in this day and age? And then you can step into being the dream of the slaves. You can quit the bad habits and quit to some extent the idea that somebody else is responsible for what's happening. Because even though the slave owners and all the people that were involved in slavery were responsible for the actions that they took at this time, today you are responsible for your life. And none of that, whatever they did, can make your life any better or worse. You can make your life better by choosing to wake up and take action. And today I have one of my cups. Your greatest test will be how you handle the people who mishandled you. Because many of us sometimes want to stay in that position of, they did it to me. It was the slave owners and the system of slavery. And yes, that happened. But the fact that that happened is not controlling what is happening right now. You control what is happening right now. And again, for me, the theme for this Black History Month is be the dream of the slave or of the slaves. Do better because you can. And they would have wanted to, but they couldn't. My name is Olivia S. Benson. You got to put the S because otherwise it's Marissa Hargitay. And I'm the author of this book. My website is oliviasbenson.com. By the way, I am now on TikTok. My website is oliviasbenson.com. The book is available there. It's available on Amazon directly. It's available as an audiobook, all the different forms. It's out there. I'm on Facebook as author Olivia S. Benson, Instagram, X, and I have a line of products which includes cups like this one. Your greatest test will be how you handle the people who mishandled you. Please, if you enjoy this video, if it was thought-provoking, or if you think it can help someone else, please share it and come back and give me your comments, or if you have questions, please feel free to reach out and, ask your questions. I will talk to you again. I hope this has been helpful, and I am Olivia Benson. Until next time, take care. Bye.